Hi everybody, it's Phoebe. I just wanted to talk to you for a moment about snakes. And if you're like me and you live in North Carolina, you probably ran across some sort of snakes here. And there is a lot of construction and a lot of things going on around the Holly Springs Road area and things like that. So a lot of these snakes are displaced and they are looking for places to go. So if you have a yard, you're probably going to run across a snake. So what do you do when you run across a snake? Number one, do not kill the snake. Do not kill it. There are so many other options other than chopping off its head, and North Carolina has the largest rate of snake bites in all of the country. And I think a part of that reason is because people feel compelled to kill them when they see them. If you think about it, killing one snake is like killing an ant. You're not getting rid of the colony, you're just getting rid of one entity of something very much more complex. And really, I'm not saying don't squish an ant, because, you know, we don't want ants in our house. We don't want snakes in our house either, but to kill a snake is just, it just is not needed. There are so many places that I'll post down below that you can call to eradicate these snakes from your area, and I'll give you 3 really helpful tips to not have as many snakes in your yard. So if you are running across snakes or you're worried about snakes, please trim your bushes. Trim them so that it's kind of a little bit more open on the bottom part of the bush so that they don't have that really tight, tucked in place, cool, you know, place that they can tuck in and create a nest. One issue that we had last summer with my dog is that she got underneath this bush that we had not trimmed, and she got bit by a baby copperhead because there was a nest underneath there. But had we trimmed that bush up a little bit and not had so much shelter underneath the bush, I don't think that they would have had a nest there. Also, if you have a porch or a deck, you might want to maybe consider putting some things around the deck so that it's not as easy for the snakes to crawl in. Now, I can't say that they are not going to, but it's just an option. And then also make sure that you don't have a lot of freestanding wood piles or rock piles in your yard, because they love to tuck up and hide in those piles, and they will. And so once you start removing that wood to use, or those rocks for whatever reason, you're probably going to find some snakes kind of tucked away, hiding or nesting in there. 3 of the snakes that are very common to this area are the black rat snake, the copperhead, well, I'll say 4, the rattlesnake, and the cottonmouth. And with the black rat snake, you do not have to worry about this snake being venomous. Now, it can bite if you step on it on accident, but normally these snakes will stay very still if they sense movement or motion near them, and then if you stop moving, they will move along and go on their way. But if you do happen to step on one, it might potentially bite you. But the black rat snakes, which are all black, maybe have a white underbelly, they do not have a venomous bite. So they will not hurt your animals or your pets. Actually, they're very shy. Except for my snake that lives in my yard, George. He's not very shy. He comes out all the time. But my dogs leave him alone, and he leaves them alone, because they just cohabitate together. Also, if you have a water feature, if you have a pond, or like I do, something like that in your backyard, that can kind of be an attraction to cottonmouths or rat snakes, or any kind of snakes really, but cottonmouth more so than others, because they will kind of be attracted to that water, and then they will find a way to kind of nest underneath rocks and the outside area of your pond. So just be real careful if you're doing yard work around your water features, which is where my George lives. Also too, there are a lot of other things that you can do to try to preserve these snakes. Not only if it's a black rat snake or whatever, you can just, I don't know, if you choose to, you can just pick it up and move it. But you can buy one of those grabbers like some people have that can't reach on the top shelf and need to grab something. You can just buy a grabber and remove it, a broom, a burlap sack, or you can call this number to remove them. Again, the venomous snakes are going to have more of a patterned look to the outside of their body. The copperhead is going to kind of have that diamond shaped look, and then it's going to have like a diamond shaped head. And then the cottonmouth, if they do open their mouth, it's going to be a white lining to the inside of their mouth. So again, these snakes are displaced. They're trying to find a place to live. They don't know where to go. We have destroyed so much wooded area off of this whole highway system that we're doing off of Holly Springs Road and from Pinehurst to wherever. We have displaced so many snakes, and these snakes are really needing a place to go. It doesn't mean that they have to live in your yard, but it doesn't mean you have to kill them either. Because if you do kill them, it's not to say that there are not more snakes that are there as well. You can just call a professional, and sometimes there are even people that will come out for free and remove these snakes free of charge, just so that you don't cut their head off with a shovel. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. And I just wanted to send that message out. I've talked to several people about seeing these critters around their yard. And again, like I said, the biggest 3 things that you can do to try to keep snakes from being in your yard are to trim your bushes, to not have wood piles, and to not have stone piles hanging out around your area. And then also, of course, if you're working in the yard, always wear gloves. Just be mindful and aware of what you're doing. And then always wear boots and cover your legs and your feet. And that's it. So hopefully this was helpful. And if you have